Hey, what's up guys? It's AJ. Welcome back to my channel, and in this video we're going to be talking about modesty, feminism, women's rights, men's rights, gender, all of that good stuff within the discussion of classically Abby with her world-famous landmark video, Why You Should Dress Modestly. Get the attention you deserve. And we can see from the like-dislike ratio that she definitely got a lot of attention. Don't know if it was the attention she wanted, though, but hey, you know, I guess there's no such thing as bad press, am I right? We're also going to be talking about the new song from Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, WAP, and its reception, because that actually ties really well into this discussion. So without further ado, let's jump into it.
Hello, beautiful ladies, and welcome to today's video, where we're going to be talking about modesty, why it's important, and why it doesn't mean looking like garbage.
Ugh. In that little moment, true colors really show there. That little, the thumbnail face that she just made, that is showing. That's how the passive-aggressive thing looks. It's the smile, and then on the inside, it's that look of how she really feels, you know? So we're going to get into that as this video goes on.
Modesty. It's a concept that some women truly hate. It's also a concept that a lot of women embrace.
Now, pay attention to the way that she intentionally phrases that. She intentionally phrases it to say some women oppose modesty, but a lot of women truly embrace modesty. It's this deception to make you think that everyone else is on my side. I have the majority on my side. You're the one, if you're against me, that you're in the minority. We all really know what everyone else wants. As we can see, she's framing this in a very specific way, but we'll get into why this becomes problematic as we get later in the video. And another thing, if some women hate it, that's fine. And if some women embrace it, that is also fine.
First off, what is it? Modesty is dressing in a way that doesn't sexualize your body.
Well, okay, that's what she calls it, but she's boiling it down. There's more to modesty than that. So, okay, so if you go on Google and you search modesty, right? So we see the quality or state of being unassuming or moderate in the estimation of one's abilities, quality of being relatively moderate, limited, small amount, rate, or level, or behavior, manner, or appearance intended to avoid impropriety or indecency. You go to the Merriam-Webster, you see quality of not being too proud or confident about yourself or your abilities, or propriety in dress, speech, or conduct, this is the definition that she's working with here. And we see from the dictionary definition, the quality of being modest, freedom from vanity, boastfulness, etc., regard for decency of behavior, speech, dress, etc., simplicity, moderation. Okay. So we see there's more to modesty than just specific like sexuality and whatnot. The way you see it, and when you look at modesty across history, across different religions and stuff like that, you see that basically modesty is a set of standards held by the individual to avoid doing too much, to avoid being boastful, proud, or showing off too much. Modesty is more than just sexualizing yourself. Modesty also involves finances. It involves wearing clothes that are not too colorful or being, you know, very conservative in the way that you dress. But of course, a video like this, 5 minutes, is going to be boiling a lot of things down, as expected, but she really does boil things down hard.
I get the appeal of not wanting to dress modestly all the time. Even for those of us who do dress modestly, sometimes it's hard.
Okay, if it's so hard, then why don't you just not do it? You could just not do it. You could just not dress modestly. Like, if it's hard for you, then don't do it. Who's stopping you? You're an adult. Just don't do it. Do what you want. It's that simple. And also, how is it hard for you to dress modestly? I mean, I guess you're wearing extra clothes or something like that, but what? You think people are going to be like, oh, you're not showing any skin? Like, who cares what they think? Do what you want. If you want to be modest, be modest. If you don't want to, then don't do it. Simple. Easy, right?
It's fun to dress in a way that makes you desirable. It's fun to be noticed. But the question is, Who do you want to be desirable to?
Okay. The person dressing sexily could be dressing to be desirable to themselves. You do know that that's a thing, right? You know that like people could possibly dress like that because they want to, because they choose to. What if they just like the way they feel in those clothes? What if they like dressing skimpy? What if they like showing skin? What if that's what they want to do? What if they like the way they look in it? Not every time a woman dresses in a way that is more revealing, it doesn't always mean that she's doing it for men. Men just so happen to be looking. That's just kind of how it is. Anyway.
And do you want to be noticed for being beautiful or being sexy?
Ding, 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 ding. False dichotomy number 1. We have our first false dichotomy, first of many in this video. False dichotomy number 1, a line being drawn between being sexy and being beautiful. The truth is, Miss Classically Abby, you can be both sexy and beautiful. I can't even think of a time I've ever seen a woman who was sexy but not beautiful, or beautiful but not sexy. Like, usually they're pretty connected, pretty related, but this is getting into, you know, some other thoughts about things. I mean, I guess you could be beautiful without having heavy sexual allure, but most people who find somebody beautiful will also find them to be sexy. I don't know. I mean, sexy kind of encompasses also being beautiful. Like, if you are sexy, you will also probably be beautiful by default. But I guess it also depends on your definitions of beauty. I'm sure your definitions are far more stringent than mine or anybody else's is. So, anyway, let's hear her out. Let's hear her case, all right? Let's hear what she has to say.
Modesty is about treating your body with respect. It's about recognizing reality, that men are visual creatures, not emotional ones.
Boo! 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 Oh boy, I am unironically triggered by that statement. Okay, Miss Classically Abby. It's time for you to get a reality check, because the truth is, men are emotional creatures. As it turns out, if you spent any time trying to learn about men, you would know that men are emotional. But most men do not know how to process their emotions, because men are taught from a young age not to be emotional. So then you have men who grow up to be emotionally stunted. Men are basically like clams or oysters, where inside of the shell is where the soft part is, and you have to try and really like work to open up the shell, but sometimes the shell's just not gonna open. Listen, I've taken time out of my day to try and understand women. I've looked online and like message boards and things of that nature. I've watched videos by women and listened to their stories. I've talked to women, asked questions and things of that nature. I wanted to understand how women thought and felt. And I learned some things about the things that men say or do that make them uncomfortable, certain things from female perspective that may be good or bad. And I start to understand things. And it keeps me from making bullheaded remarks like the ones that you are making, just in the reverse, and that come from a place of ignorance. See, you don't know anything about men, so obviously you would have this very childish view of guys that men are just boys are just all just want to have sex. Guys are all icky. This is such playground kind of thinking about guys. To hear this come from an adult woman is really sad. And the worst part is, that kind of idea is the kind of thing that enforces toxic masculinity and makes it harder for men who deal with emotional problems to actually deal with them properly. Because then it creates a society of people who don't care how men feel. Because the problem isn't just that men don't show their emotions, it's that when men show their emotions, they're ridiculed, they're shunned, they're pushed aside, they're seen as weak by society as a whole, especially women like you, Classically Abby. This whole statement, this of men being visual creatures but not emotional ones, is really stupid, because guess what? Everyone's a visual creature. Your eyes see things before your emotions do. Your heart's not going to know a person right off the bat. I mean, you might get some vibes off of somebody, but when you see somebody and they look good, your first thought's going to be, ooh, they look good. And from what I've seen from women, because I actually tried to learn about women, something you should do for men, women are just like that too. It's just that society doesn't want women to express that part of their minds. So what do you get when society tells men not to feel anything and tells women not to express sexual interest? You get a society of people who don't show how they really feel, and you get childish views like hers. All right, continuing.
It's about leaving things to the imagination. It's about dressing beautifully and attractively, but not garishly.
That's your opinion. That is your opinion, but whatever.
It's about embracing femininity. And it's
who cares about embracing femininity? I'm sorry, I know I'm mansplaining here, but dude, like, who cares, yo? Like, who cares? Just do what you want. Just be yourself. Is it that hard to understand? Why does this have to be so gendered? It's just gross.
About dressing in public in a way that's appropriate for everyone. From children to grandparents to moms and dads.
Yeah.
Modesty is a way for you to respect yourself and respect others.
Listen, okay? Self-respect is defined by the self. That's why the word self is in front of it. But self-respect is not defined by the society around you. If other people don't like what you're wearing or find it to be too revealing or whatnot, that has nothing to do with you. So long as you have self-respect in yourself and you say, I look good, so screw them, like, whatever, okay? If somebody stares at her, it's on them, not her. Anyway, moving on.
When you go to the park and you're surrounded by families with children, is it fair to dress in a way that's distracting? No. Instead, dress in a way that's appropriate for the occasion. When you meet a guy and immediately have a connection, you have one chance.
Okay, look, I agree with appropriateness, but like, you gotta temper that, because there's a line, you know? There's a line. But anyway.
To make an impression. Do you want him to leave having your body at the forefront of his mind? Or you, as a person?
I have some news for you. You truly don't know anything about men. For men, like, your body's gonna be in his mind regardless of what you wear. Like, you could be wearing a full dress, you could be dressed as a nun, and dudes are still gonna be doing that. And I know that kind of goes against what I said before about guys being emotional and complex and not just, you know, cavemanish, a me want body, me want sex. But I mean, like, guys are still human, and I mean, if you look good and you look nice, if you're dressed modestly, it's still gonna get guys' attention. Like, girls that dress modestly still get catcalled. So we already know that guys do still look at women regardless of if they're dressed modestly or sexily or what have you.
If you are wearing something incredibly revealing, it will be difficult for him to focus on your personality.
Guys notice personality too. Like, okay, here's the thing. All right, listen. If a guy wants to get to know you, it won't be that difficult for him. It'll be something that he'll notice, but it won't be that hard for him to get to know you if he's trying to get to know you. But if he's not trying to get to know you, then dressing modestly isn't going to stop him from going after what he wants. So you need to ask yourself, what kind of guys are you going after in the first place?
Instead, he might be focusing on your physical appeal. Of course, there are men who will look at you this way no matter what.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a whole lot of them. There's a whole lot of them, honey. They're everywhere.
But more men will think of you as a sex object if you dress like one than if you dress like a lady. Does that...
I hate the way she says dress like a lady, yo. Gosh, she sounds like she's about to slap somebody's wrist with a ruler. Oh my god. But, listen, yo. Okay, so, like, here's the thing. A woman dressed in a revealing outfit that may be more on the sexy line of spectrum that you're drawing here is still not a sex object. She's not a sex object. She could be totally nude, and still she would not be a sex object. She's not dressing like a sex object. She's dressing like a person who chose a specific look on that day. That's not anyone's business but hers.
That mean you should look like garbage when you meet someone? Absolutely not. You should look attractive. But if you're dressing immodestly, you're not leaving anything to his imagination. And you're not giving him an opportunity to get to know you. I'm guessing you don't want to.
Now, here's the thing. If he wants to get to know you, he will. But if your outfit is stopping him, it's because he wasn't trying to get to know you in the first place. This is something I thought that you would have known if you're so smart. If you're a fully grown woman, you should understand this, Miss Classically Abby, that if a guy is interested in getting to know you, he will try to get to know you. Your outfit will not stop him. But if a guy isn't trying to get to know you, then there's nothing that would have changed that anyway. So it's about his intentions, you know? Come on now. I know that guys that we guys like to act dumb, but we're not stupid. When we want something, we go after it like anybody else, you know?
To attract the kind of man who is only looking to spend one night with you.
I mean, what if you are trying to attract the kind of man that wants to spend one night with you? I mean, that's the thing. What if that's what you want? Hey, listen, I mean, you're talking to a whole lot of people with the amount of views that this video has. At least one of the ladies that watched this video would be like, hey, actually, I do like spending one night with a guy. Like, hey, come on. Like, they deserve some recognition, too. This is a legitimate thing that happens.
But when you dress immodestly, men are wired to have one thing on the brain.
I say yet again, if a guy has one thing on the brain, it doesn't matter what you wear. He only has one thing on the brain. It doesn't change it. You can dress like a nun, and if he's trying to get some punani, he's going to go after that punani. Come on now.
When you go to a work meeting, do you want to have cleavage and legs showing? No. You want the people...
I mean, what if you do? That's the thing. What if you do want to look like that? Hey, some women choose to do that. It's a legitimate thing.
There to listen to you and engage with your ideas, not your sexuality.
Modesty doesn't protect you from other people's eyes. It doesn't protect you from the way other people feel about you. I say yet again, dress modestly all you want, but somebody with a pervy mind is going to be looking at you like that. You can be perfectly modest and guys are still going to be looking at you and thinking, you know, whatever. Like if a dude has one thing on the brain in a work meeting while you're talking and giving ideas, they're still going to be thinking about how hot you are. Like if you look really good, that's just kind of what happens, you know? I mean, I wish that guys weren't like that. I wish that less men were like that. But if we're going to acknowledge reality here, which is what you were talking about earlier, it does speak volumes that you are not acknowledging reality. That regardless of what you wear, honey, it's gonna be like that. Modesty doesn't protect you from that. Modesty is not about everyone else around you. If you look at the history of modesty, or even the acts of being modest, it isn't about protecting from the looks of others or to stop others from thinking certain things. It's about stopping yourself from appearing as more than you are, or it's about being withdrawn or controlling yourself or not showing off too much to be more withdrawn and whatnot. It's not just about withholding sexuality so that people don't look at you, because people are going to think what they think. But if you were really about the modesty thing, you wouldn't really care what they think.
Dressing modestly is such a feminine thing to do because it accentuates your figure instead of revealing it. And here's the thing. You can dress modestly and beautifully. There are so many examples of this. Look at Kate Middleton, Michelle Obama, and Ivanka Trump. Nobody looks at them and thinks, wow, they're frumpy.
And as a response, a lot of people look at them and say, wow, they're sexy. Because sexiness is more than just revealing some tits and thighs. It's far more complex than that. It goes way deeper. I know there are a lot of people that talk about how hot Ivanka Trump is, and I know there are a lot of people who've talked about how hot Michelle Obama is. This goes far deeper. They can dress modestly all they want, but people can recognize beauty and find that attractive because there's more to sexiness than just the body parts that you show off. Anyway.
But in today's day and age, where everything goes, it's hard to know what's modest and what's not. Women like J-Lo and Shakira dancing in sparkly leotards and being praised for their bodies doesn't really help either. Because at 50 years old, do you want to be trying to be praised for your body or praised for your family?
Ding, 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 ding! False dichotomy! We have another false dichotomy. You can have both. You can have a nice body and have a good, healthy, well-adjusted family. Have you noticed that? Have you even thought of that? And let me tell you, at 50, if you still look good, if you're still able to dance and shake it on stage, that's great. You deserve to be praised for that. There are a lot of people at 50 years old who can't do all that. There are people at 40, even 30, who can't do all that. So yeah, if you look that good at that age, yeah, you could be praised for it, okay?
For your body or for your wisdom.
Another false dichotomy. It's like you keep drawing these lines and they keep just you draw these lines. Where are the lines coming from, Abby? Where are they coming from? You can be praised for both, okay? You can be sexy and smart. You can be hot and wise. It's totally possible. If you would just open up your mind and look outside of the myopic small lens that you have in your head, you would be able to see that there's more to people than just these small little ideas that you've painted of everybody.
Treating your sexiness like it's your best feature is a losing battle because time always wins.
I mean, time didn't seem to do much to J-Lo and Shakira, so,
And now you're competing with other women, too. So what's the difference
life
between
is a competition. Life is a competition regardless of what you do. You're going to go by your wisdom, your family. People's families are constantly in competition with each other. You're going to go by how well-adjusted you are as a person. Everybody's in competition. The point is not to worry about other people and stop worrying about life being a competition and just live.
Beauty and sexiness. Beauty is both inside and out. It's about how your soul shines through your eyes and through your smile. It's about how your external features complement your personality. Sexiness is just about your body. Modesty reminds us what's important.
Ugh. Oh my God. Okay, so we're getting to the end of this, and I'm just gonna say this. This video shows she doesn't quite understand what sexiness is or how it works. Sexiness is so much more than just the mere physical appearance of showing off a few body parts, as I've previously stated. Sexiness is incredibly complex. There's an art to it. Sexiness is in your voice, your accent, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, the way you walk. It can be in the way you dress, the way you accentuate specific colors and stuff like that. You could be perfectly modest and very sexy. For example, the song Music of the Night from Phantom of the Opera is a sexy song. It's very seductive because of the story surrounding it with the Phantom of the Opera. There's this sort of dreamy nature of it, and there's this sort of seduction that's going on in the midst of the song, along with the tortured soul that is the Phantom of the Opera. All of this complexity and subtext that goes into this beautiful piece of music that I know you're very familiar with, and people who watch you are definitely familiar with, and you would understand why that would be something that's considered very sexy, in spite of the fact that there's not any, body parts flailing or what have you. And that is because sexiness goes beyond just the physical attributes that you show off to other people. This is a conversation that deserves being had, and it can only be had when people broaden their horizons and expand their definitions and understanding of things, not by withholding and using these conservative ideas.
Of course, it's amazing to keep in shape. It's amazing to work out and stay fit. But I hope that when I'm 50, people are talking about my accomplishments as a mother, as a wife, and as a woman with values, not my muscle tone. So what does modesty...
Hey, listen, if you look good at 50, yes, people should definitely compliment that muscle tone, because it's hard to keep that at 50. It's really hard. Many people at that age have cited that it's extremely difficult to keep up a good-looking body at that age. So, yeah, that'd be a good compliment.
Do you really mean? It means not wearing something that shows off every curve and crevice of your body when it might be better off left in the bedroom. It means not wearing something that could easily be mistaken for lingerie. It means not wearing something you'd be embarrassed to see your family in. I get the pull toward wanting to dress immodestly, and I'm not criticizing anyone for it.
Lying. She is lying. She's been doing that this entire video. She's been doing that this whole video. How are you gonna, at the very last second, say, "Oh, I'm not saying this. I'm just saying, guys"? No, you can't do that. You can't spend a whole video criticizing people and then say, "But I'm not criticizing them." That's not how it works. Own what you're saying. Just own it. Gosh, if you just had some spine. Come on now.
I'm just offering you an alternative. So, ladies, let's be classic. And
listen, okay, look. Okay, the video's done. That video's over. So, listen. I'm somebody who likes classy things. I like old-fashioned style and aesthetic. I like classical music. I love all that stuff. I'm pretty sure I have a lot of interests the same as Classically Abby. I'm sure we have a lot of the same interests. And I mean, I love her singing. She has a beautiful voice, and I'm sure she does a lot of great, beautiful music and a lot of great art and whatnot. But her ideas surrounding this and this thought that it makes her better or something like that is something that I do not like. And I don't like that perspective in any circle, but especially in the circle of people who like old-fashioned things, classical music, old-fashioned music. I cannot stand the idea that you liking those things, that you liking that certain style makes you better. At the end, she says she offers it as an alternative, but the way she packages it is in this passive-aggressive kind of like just so fake, and I just don't like it, okay? And I just could not end this video without briefly discussing WAP, the song by Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, and how there's currently a conversation surrounding women and the expression of sexuality by women and the difference between a woman presenting herself sexually for herself versus her being an object of a male rapper or some male artist's affection and desire and whatnot. Now, in my opinion, the song WAP is pretty good. You know, it's a bop. It's got some nice bars and whatnot. It's a fun song. It does what it's supposed to. It does what it wants to. I mean, when we all heard Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion were going to collaborate, what did you think they were going to make a song about? Like, what, have you listened to their catalog, their discography of music? I just don't understand why anybody's even surprised that they would make a song like this. Now, the issue is that a lot of the people, like Classically Abby and her brother, the people who like to prattle on and on and on and on about modesty in women are obviously, predictably slamming the song as evil and setting women back and demeaning women, blah, 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 blah. These people are so predictable and boring, and their takes are exactly what you think they would be, and they exhibit no maturity, no nuance, no understanding of the history of women in music, women in performance, women in art, and how this presentation of female sexuality is different from the way it's presented in other contexts, and why it's a good thing that they have the ability to do this today. They have no understanding of that because they don't want to understand that, because that requires more complicated discussion than just, this is debauchery, this is bad, women showing skin is bad. It's and we've all seen the self-own from Ben Shapiro on Twitter and his poor wife, who apparently does not enjoy having a WAP, which is a special thing. It definitely was not the own that Ben was thinking it would be. He thought he was just going to go on and on about how this is obviously demeaning women and setting women back, and other conservatives have come out and basically said the same thing. Because of course, promoting an ideology that wants to reverse the clock on women's rights and send ladies back into the kitchen and police their wardrobe and self-expression and sexual activity is obviously not setting women back in any way. That's not disrespectful to women at all. What? What are you talking about? There is this misconception that women like Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion are disrespecting themselves by twerking, being sexual, showing skin, and all of that. This is an incredibly childish and boils it down to she's showing skin. She looks skimpy. She looks like a hoe. That's bad. Women showing skin is bad. Women dancing to music and twerking is bad. They look like hoes. Listen, okay? Let me break this down for you in the most easy way to understand. If a woman chooses a specific style, aesthetic, or lifestyle, that is her business, and it doesn't mean she's disrespecting herself because she chose of her own volition to do this. It is what she wants to do. What is disrespectful is assuming that you have any right to judge her for how she chooses to live her life, or that you are better for how you choose to live yours. It's all arbitrary at the end of the day. It's one thing if a woman is being forced to dress scantily or being coerced into being promiscuous when she doesn't want to. It's one thing when a woman is being presented as an object of desire. I mean, we've all heard all the disgusting rap lyrics about women. We all know about Future by now. We all know about how these lyrics clearly demean women because of the way they are portrayed and treated in these songs. I have literally heard rappers talk about busting a nut on a woman's face. So please miss me with that disrespect nonsense, because if any of these people cared about women's rights, they'd have spoken up about that. Please, listen, the moral of this is simple. Mind ya business. It's simple. Just mind your business, all right? If you want to be modest, if you want to be a lady, quote unquote, if you want to be classy, do it. Do it, and do it to your best ability. Just enjoy it, okay? And if you want to be a thought, go ahead and do it. If you want to explore a middle ground between modesty and thottery, then do that. Enjoy yourself. Life is short, okay? I'm not going to police somebody's lifestyle. Nobody has time for that. It's nobody's business but yours. If you want to promote modest living, you can do it without putting down those who are not modest. You can do it while still respecting those who choose to live their lives differently. Classically, Abby and people like her think that they are presenting it as an alternative, which they're not. If you listen to the subtext of what they're saying, they are not presenting it as an alternative. They're presenting it as an imperative. They're saying that you are better if you choose their lifestyle. I, as somebody who likes classy things, who likes, modesty and things of that nature, I enjoy these things, but I enjoy them on their own without having to put down people who don't. It's simple. So that's it, okay? Mind your business. Stop being dumb. Y'all showing off some heavy little dick energy, and it's really sad. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a good one. We've got more videos on the way, so stay tuned. This is AJ signing off. Have a good one. Peace out.